I think, as I said uh, quite early on, for me, from a inducting people point of view, what went through my head right at the beginning was, you know, uh, this is a tool that you could use to educate people in the business. So whether that's when they first start or even later on, to understand how the different parts of the business work together was the thought that went through my head. And also therefore the impact on different parts of the business, on the other parts of the business, and ultimately on the customer. And then I think as we've been going through this, my brain whirring away, I think there's kind of different ways, if it was up to me, that I'd apply it, because I think, we're sat in a coffee shop and a barista school, so one of the things that happens here is the customer journey, which you have got on here, but almost the customer journey through the coffee shop, and what is the different impact on that of the different elements of this business, and therefore what could we do better, what are our opportunities, what are our challenges, and how do we overcome or make use of our opportunities and overcome the challenges. So I think it's a really good visual way of almost problem solving in some ways, onboarding as well, and from a training point of view, one of the things that I do is put training structure together for people. So again, this is potentially a way in my head, and maybe I'm twisting it a bit, to map that out for people. So if this employee is coming through the business, so to speak, rather than the customer, what are the touch points for them in terms of training and development? Where does that come from? Where are our black holes, as Richie said? And therefore, how can we work on that to make the employee experience better as they work in our business? You could also link that then to development, leadership, career paths, and things like that as well. And then part of that's because I've just come out of welcome break, so that's a lot of the stuff we were doing in welcome break.
And may I just pick on one of the words you used there, the experience, and just relate to the experience on the day, because I think a lot of people will look at the events that I'm putting on, the art of, and it's a bit of a risk for me, because the art of is quite a creative term, and the art means different things. The art for me is picking up a new skill, but also creating, without being over the top, a work of emotion that you're wanting to go back to, like people do with art. And people might look at that and think that's actually a risk for them to attend, because they don't see themselves in that creative space. And I just wonder, for those kind of people, if you could relate how you found today and how they might then come on the course and the event and experience it, and how have you found it?
I think as an experience point of view, it's engaging. It is us experiencing it. So, compared to a lot of training sessions, it's great facilitation. It gets us involved straight away. It's a different way of approaching it. It's visual. So I think, if you came into a room like this in a typical organisation that I've worked for, you're going to expect, a load of PowerPoint and somebody stood at the front downloading lots of information onto people's heads. And this is a completely different way of approaching it, which I think is very refreshing. It's fun and engaging. So from that point of view, ticks a load of boxes. And I think for everybody, we've been sat here thoroughly engaged and using our brains, and that's what you want people to do ultimately. So when you're doing these sessions,
That's great. Thank you, Chris.